that up. Pull up this. Pull up. Let's just do that way. Pull this up. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to do this today, but I can. So, apologies for the slight delay on starting today. For a while, we were without internet. It was like there's like some windstorms in our area yesterday, and while our power never went out overnight, our internet went out. So that was only just recently fixed. So I was not preparing myself for stream as I usually do. But anyway, welcome to what is most definitely the finale stream, where rank A, the big scary kaboom just happened, and we're about to go find out what that was. So prepare yourself. Oh, that's clever. I don't know. I just never I had not looked at these flowers before. I was like, which button is it again? So if you look, they're basically what, hexagonal? Yeah. So it's this like a hexagonal setup where you've got like these 6 sides going around, and then you've got like one vertice that I'm seeing, or like, I guess two vertices. I don't remember the technical terms, but like there's like an angle formed on the edge of the flowers, and then it's like a hexagon. So that's they're really efficiently modeled. I was just appreciating that. All right, time to leave. Good, everyone's okay. What even was that, an earthquake? No, it's something to do with Prism Tower. Looks like things are taking a turn for the worse. Kanari's streaming about it now. Alright, let's get to the roof. We gotta see for ourselves. Yeah, take your time, elevator. Not like anything urgent's happening. Normally I'd see the slowness as part of its janky charm. Here we go. Indeed it is. Wow, it is Pi Day. Barely even noticed. Oh, nice. Fair enough. Getting all 4 of us in this poor little elevator will be a squeeze. Okay. Scooch mission forward more. Pull this forward more. Oh, hi, AZ. Already on the roof, I see. AZ, Floette, you're okay. We are fine, but I thank you for your concern. What is that shaking, AZ? You recall how Floette seemed pained earlier this evening? I wondered if she might be responding to Ange in some way, so I came up to view the tower. Look there. I like how we just straight up did not notice the giant pink glowing spire. Oh my gosh, Prism Tower. I really don't like the look of that glow. The time I feared has come. It won't be long before the tower, before Ange goes rogue as well. The excessive mega power I spoke of before, that which the tower has been emitting, it will likely cause an explosion of rogue mega evolution across the entire city. Yeah, it's alright, AZ. Team MZ is gonna take care of it. Hey, Vinny, this about the tower? It is. The situation looks dire. We need you on this right away. On it. We'll head out now. Okay, Team MZ. Let's regroup in Centrico Plaza. Once Floette has mega evolved, she can take on the power of the tower, the power of Ange. Then the tower can assume the form it was always intended to take. Ange Floette. You must help the tower attain its true form if we are to stop it from destroying the city. I would only slow you down if I were to go, so I will remain here and support you from afar. Maybe you can cook us up something good to celebrate when we get back, AZ. You wish for me to cook? That is a fine idea. I am familiar with so many different cuisines. Floette, good luck. I am counting on you. It's a good question. I haven't heard many today. I've been primarily offline, just had no option to be online until like a little bit before I started streaming today, so I'll think on that, and I'll include something from last week, probably, because haven't seen many opinions yet today. I know you will prove yourself equal to this task, DB. I am so grateful our paths crossed. Come along, little Sal. Been here the whole time. There was something. There was a take that I was not a fan of. What was that? Man, it was something. I'm thinking it was like, it had to do with gaming for sure, because I showed it to my friend who also into gaming. Oh, what was that? What was that take? Might have lost. I'll have to think on it more. I've seen that argument, and I think it misses a few key points. Because there is a level to which superheroes are inherently built on the idea of punitive justice. Whereas the punishment in that instance is being beaten up by a superhero. There's a righteous, righteous fury to it, which can be kind of more attributed to like far-right opinions. But at the same time, superheroes are so often so like wildly what's the word? I guess progressive in a lot of ways. Like a big example that I've often seen is a lot of people talk about, like, oh, well, Batman, he's like super rich, but like Batman doesn't like that. The way he lives his life, the wealth is kind of his alter ego. His reality is being the vigilante that he is on the streets. And in a lot of his comics, especially, like, his wealth is, the result of his parentage, and not something he wishes to have, not something he really cares for. It just funds his endeavor. And then Superman especially takes that even further, where he's not some crazy wealthy guy, and he's meant to kind of embody like all that is good in a lot of ways. And it's like often they lean into these kind of different more progressive viewpoints, and there's a level to which there is a conservative value in what they do, but superheroes themselves aren't inherently conservative. Like, I've seen that argument as well, and I don't really care for it, because it's like it's not quite right. Like, there are elements of them that you can ascribe to more conservative views on justice, on what's right, what's moral. And then similarly, though, like, they embody a lot of ideals that wouldn't be conservative. And I think it stems from people look at things really black and white. Like, things are either conservative or they're progressive. Things are either, you know, left, right. You know, it's a strict, there's something or someone is exactly one thing. They can't have opinions that interweave from other viewpoints. And if they do, then they can't be the thing that's here, because, well, the thing that's here, like the ideal of progressivism doesn't include that opinion. That opinion is conservative, so therefore you're conservative, because you can't be progressive. But at the same time, like, would that not apply to conservatism, where you look at someone who's conservative who has one view that happens to be rather progressive? Would that make them not conservative and would make them progressive? No. You know, things are more than, like, people's views are more than driven by one personal opinion. They can be driven from a lot of different directions and a lot of different mindsets. And so it's like superheroes where there's elements that can be conservative. Inherently, a lot of conservative superhero concepts fail because they don't have the substance that comes from the more progressive side of superheroes. So yeah, I agree. That is a dumb opinion. And maybe that's why they made that video title that way, like, just to catch people and go, oh, I disagree. And then, like, they kind of get into how there is a level of conservative value in what superheroes are and what superheroes do. I could see that. I could see that if they're just using that to get people and get people angry, and then they watch and they go, oh, I kind of see where he's coming from. He was just being hyperbolic. Like, or, you know, she, they, I don't know who made this video, but I have seen that take from, I forget who it was, but it was some guy online. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, I agree. Bad take there. Anyways, looks like we've got all of Team MZ here. I'm afraid there's no time to waste, so allow me to get straight to the point. The tower is emitting more mega power by the minute. If it keeps up this pace, the entire city will be overrun with rogue mega evolved Pokemon. I hate that fucking phrase. That rogue mega evolved. It's so much. It's too many words. You could just say rogue mega Pokemon, or just rogue megas. I don't know. Lean into something that's less rogue mega evolved. We appreciate you joining us, Floette. AZ has assured us that we can still rectify this situation as long as we have you and a trainer who can help you achieve Mega Evolution. Team MZ, you are in the remarkable position of having two trainers who have achieved rank A. So I must ask, which of you will attempt to subdue the tower? I'll do it. But you and DB are both rank A now, Urbane. That's right. So we should have a battle so I can prove that I'm the strongest trainer. And then I'll be the one to save every person and Pokemon in Lumiose. Sound fair, Vinny? If that is what you both wish, I can hardly stand in your way. Alright, DB, talk to me when you're ready to battle. It's time to see who the strongest Pokemon trainer and... Oh, that's right. It's time to see who's the strongest Pokemon trainer and who will take control of the tower. We're ready when you are, Vinny. I'm gonna prove that I'm up to this, no matter what comes after. I'll win for the city. The winner tackles the tower. Let's do this. Picked a good one to start with. Nice. You might be TMMZ's secret weapon, but I'm our leader for a reason. Good rock. I may not have found the person I came here for yet, but I've met so many people I care about. Water alligator. Bye. I'm gonna be the one to fix the tower with Floette, so everyone can keep living their happy lives. Whee! If I'm going to protect everyone in Lumiose, I can't go losing to you. Dominic. Raining kiss. Bro, you mistimed that. Ow. Ember! Can't believe you've got me down to my last Pokemon. You're a great trainer, that's for sure. Ember! Nope. 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 No Thunder Punchies. Nice. The Aqua Jet KO. I wanted to be the one to save the city, but I guess it's no surprise I lost to you. So, you really are Lumiose's greatest trainer. And the strongest Mega Evolution user. You know, I'm really happy we met. Having you as a member of Team MZ makes me proud to call myself its leader. It was a superb battle. Now then, if the both of you are ready. I believe matters have been settled. DB will make for the tower's control center with Floette. No, wait. Please. Please let me go instead. What? But DB1, you said... I know what I said, but... I still want to do my part to protect the people and Pokemon of Lumiose. And as the trainer strong enough to beat me, I think DB has a job only she can do. What do you mean? DB, you're the trainer that the legendary Pokemon Zygarde found worthy. That's why I want to ask you and Zygarde to jump in and protect Lumiose if things go south. The person I'm looking for is still somewhere in this city. Not to mention everyone else. Lumiose is our home. Floette and I want to make sure it stays safe for all of us, people and Pokemon. Understood. I will also aid DB down here as needed. Huh? I guess you were ready to do what needs to be done, no matter who won. Well, he's not Team MZ's leader for nothing. AZ's calling. I'll put him on speaker. What's up, AZ? I hope you'll forgive me for sending you to face this most important of battles without me. It seems that a life of 3,000 years truly is asking more than a single human body can give. I get it, all this stress about Prism Tower must be taking a real toll on you. Well, we won't let the 3,000 years you waited to reunite with Floette go to waste. Team MZ is here to handle things, so you two can live in peace again. Your kindness means much, Irving. DB, Lita, Levine. I have faith in each of you. I had hoped to protect Lumiose, to protect the entire region of Kalos. Carry on where I could not. Safeguard the people and Pokémon of this city. They are her future. And to my dear Floette, I ask that you lend our Team MZ all the might of the Eternal Flower. You heard the man, Floette. Let's go. It's a Floetite stone. Alright, Floette. Mega Evolve. She's ready. Let's go, Floette. Goodbye. I will say I do find Pompon very funny, and that it does feel a lot like the annoying dog that Toby Fox uses so often. I saw a joke someone said, make music for Pokemon long enough and they'll make you a Pokemon. I guess this is the tower's control center. This chair looks like a full-on throne. Alright, we should be ready. Hey DB, you'd better be watching. This reminds me, you still gotta start in my Hotel Z ad when all this is done. Okay, Floette, here goes nothing. Wonder whose hand that was on for. There's an HD Angry Birds meme? What is that one? I know of... Like, I've seen the memes about Brout and, like, the movie Red. And then just the edits of the normal Red Angry Bird where he's Brout. But this is Vinny speaking. The light from the tower appears to be fading. Over. Uh-oh, Skadios. Uh-oh, Skadios. This thing is crazy. I mean, you use the tools you got. That's kind of my view on it. Use the tools you got. I've done things that when I was a kid I would animate in PowerPoint. Like I would be like using the animation effects where like, oh, I would move this object this way or like rotate something or, you know, so on and so forth. You know, using those different effects like that, I would make little animations and stuff. So it's like, realistically, I feel like anyone can do animation in anything. You can do it on a piece of paper, you can do it in After Effects, you can do it in whatever. What's going on? I thought he had it under control. Doesn't look like it's under control to me. It's going completely wild. All those things growing out of it that look like parts of Floette's eternal flower. I must go update our Quasarco Inc. team and issue new orders. Stay safe, all of you. Do I have any? Should we get down to the street? I suppose we'd better. We wouldn't want to be up here if more tremors hit. Bad lightning. Good thing there was a convenient path through this rubble. So, what's Team MZ's next move? I have to help Urbane. DB, can you hear me? Gotta say, the view's incredible from up here. I knew Lumiose was big, but seeing it like this, thinking of all the people going about their lives down below, I appreciate it now more than ever. Listen, Team MZ, it's up to us to protect this city, no matter what it takes. Backing up for a second, I'm glad you're alive. How are you not more scared for your life? Urbane, what's going on up there? Are you alright? I'm safe. I think Mega Floette's got my back. But the tower's gone completely berserk. It's acting like a rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon. I can't control it at all, and it's trying to fire off Mega Floette's moves. What should we do? I mean, I'd love a hand, but I'm not sure what exactly you should do. Wait, I think... What is it? I see Zygarde on a rooftop in the Magenta District. You should head there. I think it might be waiting for you. Hurry! Urbane? Can you hold that thought a moment? What for? We need DB up to team up with Zygarde. I think the tower going rogue is causing other Pokemon to undergo Rogue Mega Evolution. AC was right. This is bad. We gotta fight. Alright. Ow. Ow. Stop hurting me. I don't have a lot of life. There we go. Whew. Good thing we managed to calm them. Here, DB, I'll heal your Pokemon. There's many things I find to be underrated. That is a great question, and I think part of it is they found it funny. Part of it is they're leaning into its inspiration. Oh, hang on, I've got an idea. Because I didn't know about this, but there is an inspiration for Staryu's line that is an old Japanese sci-fi movie, and it feels like it's a kind of a nod to that. But I'll finish this dialogue first. Here we go, just what we needed. What for? Well, what does Team MZ do when we need a plan? DB knows, right? A strategy meeting, yeah. Yep, it's strategy meeting time. Alright, we've got 2 objectives. Calm down the rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon all over the city, and rescue Urbane and Float from the tower. Well, the strategy meeting at a table made of rubble. We ought to consider what Urbane proposed for starters. Going to meet Zygarde? Yeah. But getting to it is gonna be rough. There's a ton of building debris in the way. Not to mention those roots that the tower sprouted. Take the rooftops. You think you could climb that wreckage and then go via the rooftops? I know you're great, TV, but that's a lot for any one person. Even with our trusty partners, I doubt we 3 could make it all the way to Zygarde on our own. What's zappin', Team MZ? Kanari from Dynamo is here to help jumpstart this show. What? Check it, I brought backup too. What are all of you doing, crashing our meeting? I just thought you might need some help sorting all this out, DB. The Fist of Justice will not stand by while our city is in danger. You can count on us. Good to see you are all still unscathed, Team MZ. I've had my hands rather full fielding calls from the top-ranked trainers who were provided with Mega Rings by Quasartico Inc. I was trying to explain the entire situation, however, Miss Kanari here decided she would rather move straight to crashing Team MZ's group chat. How we got on this call's hardly important now. What's going on, and how can we help? Right, according to Urbane, who's up in the tower right now, we need to find a way to reach the Magenta District rooftops where Zygarde's waiting. What? Get it to come here instead. Could it be that Zygarde is testing DB's abilities? Who's to say what's going on in Zygarde's head? Let's just help DB get over to it. This episode has a lot of talking. Ayo, so the thought of entrusting you few with such a crucial task fills me with unease. Nice of you to show up and immediately start complaining, Princess. I was having Laban gather information. We elites know better than to rush in blindly. Now, if you will, I'll check your Rotom phones. I have sent you each of our findings. Okay, there's a beautiful top there on the side. This image shows an aerial view of Centrico Plaza. At its center sits Prism Tower, out of which grows this vicious floral monstrosity. Yikes, what a mess. Not even Pops could fix all that overnight. We need to do something about those flowers before anyone else does any fixing. What do you say, Mr. Justice? Think you could take him on with those big muscles of yours? Thank you for the compliment, but even my seasoned strength would not be nearly enough. I believe our priority right now is to secure a route for DB. That much I'm certain we can handle between us. Hold up, did Ivor just say something reasonable? Now that's a shock. He's right, with all of us working together we can clear a way for DB. Very well, let us decide among ourselves who will handle which area. Alright, let's go over what we've decided. Each of us is going to try to keep the rogue Pokemon at bay in our area. DB will come link up with us so we can collab. DB will come with us. I cannot read. DB will come link up with us, so we can collab on clearing a path to Zygarde. Thank you so much. Who knows what we would have done without you. We're lucky that all of us high-ranked trainers are scattered evenly around Lumiose's 5 districts. Sure, things could be a lot worse, but pretty convenient. We're all perfectly in our little arc here. If you would all indulge me for a moment, I have one minor concern to raise. Now we're in the middle of an emergency. It occurs to me that Grisham is not among us. I mean, that's true, but shouldn't we focus on what those of us who are here can do? His absence will vex me until he competes in the next Super Tournoi des Jeux. You can worry about your precious tournament later, Jacinth. Honestly, do you even get how crazy it is that we're all here like this? We come from all walks of life, yet we cross paths simply due to our various ties to this city, then butted heads in our promotion matches, and now we're helping each other out. DB, one last bit of advice from the detective charged with protecting Lumiose. Trust in Al. He's not like the old Lysander from Team Flare. I'm sure he has no interest in taking lives. Trust in Zygarde, and lend it your strength. I'll take care of everyone outside of Centrico Plaza, so please, take care of things where you are. Come on, you lot. It's up to us to save our city. Okay. Now I can... Oh, a little bit more. That was for real the wildest strategy meeting we've ever had. No time to focus on that, Lita. The crucial part... that's right, the crucial part's still to come. Right. We don't even know yet how we're gonna stop the tower. So I guess we've gotta bet everything on the possibility Urbane mentioned. That Zygarde can help us fix this mess. First, head for the rendezvous point where Ivor and Gwen are waiting. Alright, now I can talk about it a little bit. So Starmie and Staryu's line is inspired by this one like old sci-fi movie that was from Japan, where the aliens in it come to Earth and they look almost exactly like this. Like, so they're like these people in like clearly like a cloth suit that's vaguely star-shaped, and then they're just like extending their legs a bit to make, you know, the star shape sell more. And then they have like a big eye at the center of the body. So those were the aliens in it, and they come to Earth with like a warning that, you know, something is going to happen to Earth or something along those lines, and humans don't trust them. They don't believe them because they're not humans and they're terrifying, hideous abominations. And so the aliens in it try to grow more human. And that's possibly what this is in part inspired by, is the idea of this thing becoming more human. And I think the other part is, I think someone on the team just thinks it's really funny, and I'm not going to lie, it is. I think this is quite silly. That said, I will say, I don't think the way this game is rendered does it an ounce of justice. Mega Starmie, as opposed to normal Starmie, is much shinier. But you can't really tell that with the, you know, mega effect going on here and the overall lack of major materials in this game. I think hypothetically in other games this might be more obvious of an effect, but it's just not a super obvious one here. Yeah. So that's part of why it's like that in all likelihood. It's also, it switches to a physical attacker, when it mega evolves. So that's a thing to keep in mind for it as well. Hello. DB. Ivor, martial arts prodigy and founder of the Fist of Justice, at your service. She knows who you are, dummy. We'll take point on this district as was discussed at the strategy meeting. If you're wondering, I was the one holding Ivor's phone during the meeting, as usual. He'd crush it in his giant fists otherwise. The rogue Pokemon certainly are out in force. A dire situation such as this requires teamwork. We must battle arm in arm to make it through. Do anything arm in arm with Ivor and he'll break your bones. Just stick with me, okay, DB? Battling time. I just saw a, I saw a safari ball on the ground. Or a nest ball, I think. Might have been a nest ball. I'm just cycling between healing moves so that they don't hurt me. Justice prevails. There's no end to them, but there's also no one getting angry at me for battling too much. At last, it is time for me to unleash the strength that I've gained training with the Fist of Justice. Ivor, remember the plan. We're fighting to get DB to the next rendezvous point. It's time for me to take a stand. Go on ahead, DB, hurry. Oh, Gwyn, you're fighting for me at last? Wrong again, Ivor. DB, bump me. Good luck. Let's get moving. Catch me if you can. I like how the Megas politely waited for us to have that conversation before they attacked. Ah, it seems we cannot reach the bridge due to all this debris. I could simply leap across the water with my finely honed muscles, but that is no help to you. We had best find another way. Any clever ideas, DB? Maybe we could use the pile of paneling. I see. That section of the wall that was around the tower would make a fine bridge if we could knock it down. Even my mighty fist may struggle to fell such a massive target. Phalanx, time to Mega Evolve. One trainer, one Pokemon, one heart. Justice Punch! There you go. Away across. It was making me nervous to leave you unsupervised, Ivor, so here I am. I see Phalanx saved the day. Gwyn, you're alive! Quiet down, of course I'm alive. My apologies. I can't help but worry about you ever since that time you went missing. Save your concern for Lumiose, not me. Right. Let us see the plan through to its finish. Other rogue Pokémon will undoubtedly appear. Hurry to Zygarde, DB. Yes. Go on ahead for Lumiose. Whee! I'm a Cracker Rebel. Streamer ladies ahead. Name is Kanari. Kanari. Oh, here we are. Yo! Things ain't looking great, huh? Those poor Pokemon ain't exactly acting out for the fun of it either. So, gonna do something about it, or... We have to. Like I said in the strategy meeting, we're here to help you out. Lumiose is my city. I was born and raised here. There's no way I'm sitting this out. Don't count me out either, kid. That ain't luck that ran my construction company all these years. I'd never let Kanari deal with this alone. Besides, I can't just stand by while Mouse City takes a beating. Feel bad for Blastoise and Steelix. Looks like Rogue Mega Evolution's really hurting them. Let's go, DB. These rogue Pokemon ain't gonna save themselves. We'll work on putting together some scaffolding so you can keep moving ahead. Look lively, folks. We've got a big job to do. Got it, boss. You there. This is a work site, not a stand back and watch site. Zap to it. I beg your pardon? Me? You want me to help too? Come on, DB. Show us why we should call you the strongest Mega Evolution user. Shopping. Whoa. Nope, not who I wanted to switch to. Not who I wanted to switch to at all. Jesus. No! Truth! Oh, that's bad. Though, ow. This is the type of combat that I do get to have a little bit of, ow, safety in, and that I get healed after the fight by an ally who's in the fight. Pop a heal. Get blasted. You may be the MVP of the ZA Royale, but me and Electros get the award for most improved. Here, let me heal up your hard-working Pokemon. Like that. That is a clause-activated Truth Lives. Though at this point we're kind of in the final stretch anyways, so it's like... it probably wouldn't matter. We got our work done while you were battling. Feast your eyes on our scaffolding masterpiece. Dang, Pops. You didn't have to go this hard, like, seriously. We just needed a path forward. If it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. Excadrill and the team really pulled out all the stops. I think it's safe to say this is our finest, most amazing scaffolding course yet. But I'm sure you're up for the challenge, eh, kid? Nobody needs a challenge right now. What Lumiose needs fixing, we fix it right up. But we can't repair lives that are lost, so we're counting on you to get there and do your thing. Me and Electros will take care of any rogue Pokemon. Go, DB. Items. I want items. I like this items. Ah, dang. Okay. Oh. Kind of skipped around a chunk of that. I went there on purpose, Tarragon. Chill. I wonder which way to go. Go! Nicely done, kid. We put our hearts and souls into that obstacle course and you cleared it beautifully. For real, that was all kinds of impressive. Friends. Uh-oh, looks like trouble just joined the chat. Guess that's the price of being the cutest, coolest, cleverest streamer in Lumiose. You mean in Kalos, yeah? Anyway, how's your back holding up, Pops? It'll hold up however long it needs to for my city and my grandkid. Now go for it, folks. The deadline's looming. Any percent speedrun mode? Let's go. I'm here too. Hello, Laban. Greetings. I've been expecting you. Where's Jasant? Hello there, my dear DB. You must be terribly disappointed to be met by Laban instead of myself. I do apologize. Unfortunately, there is work elsewhere to which only an elite like myself can attend, such as liaising with the mayor and mobilizing the forces needed to defend our city. Which is why my dear Laban is present to support you on my behalf. She is as fine a battler as you will ever meet, so I expect that she will be of some assistance to you. And so, my dear DB, I kindly ask that you pacify those poor rogue Mega-Evolved Pokemon before I arrive there. Now, I send you all my love and the best wishes with this beautiful bump of my fist. Lebon, I trust you will do your utmost to aid our dear friend. Try not to be a hindrance. With that, I bid you adieu. Yeesh, she loves running her mouth. As if I'd ever be a hindrance. Give me a break. After all, it's not every day I get to take on worthy opponents like rogue Mega-Evolved Pokemon. Don't worry. I know this isn't just fun and games. These Pokemon have Mega-Evolved against their will and they're suffering from it. Well, my partner and I are going to use our strength to free them from their suffering. Let's do this. A new battle. Blam! Get out of here. That was awesome. You killed it out there. Man, feels great to battle side by side with someone who's not uptight. Fighting beside Jasant is always kind of a struggle for me, honestly. What is it you struggle with, Lebon? What in the heck did you... I mean, how long, It was nothing, Lady Jasant. Pay me no mind. We will revisit your attitude and choice of words another time. For now, it appears some uninvited guests have decided to join us, Lebon. Naturally, Lady Jasant. Your renown draws crowds, but I fear they have us outnumbered. You have a point. They look like quite a handful, even with the combined efforts of myself, Lebon, and you, DB. I think this calls for our secret weapon. Yes, Lady Jasant. Kindly follow me this way. Your attention, please, dear Pokémon. Allow me to welcome you into Lady Jasant's personal battle arena. Jasant Zone, on. This Jasant Zone should be enough to impede any Pokémon. Please continue on, DB. Let's go, Dragougi. You and me are gonna keep these streets safe. Come, my dearest Clefable, let us show our new friends the finest hospitality. For Lumiose. Corbo. Hello. Report in, Philippe. How's it look over there? I see. That'll work fine. Ne'er-do-wells like us gotta show it. We're worth it. Times like these. Me? I'm getting a real warm welcome from a couple of rogue Pokémon. But don't you worry about me. Our favorite do-gooder just came to the rescue. Listen, Philippe. This situation's bound to have people feeling down in the dumps. You and your crew get something ready to lift people up. Like a cookout or, I don't know, maybe something special. About time you showed up. By the looks of it, these friendly rogue Pokémon have been waiting for you too. I think it's time we work together again. Been a minute since we did, eh? Don't worry. Me and Scolipede have your back. Nice. He took out the Gardevoir, I took out the Gallade. Both good. Got my grunts waiting on up ahead. Come on, let's get moving. Philippe isn't here yet? Afraid not, sir. Sorry I'm late, boss. You were supposed to put up a ladder here, so tell me why I don't see one. Am I just an idiot who can't spot a big old ladder? Oh, we tried setting up the ladder, boss. We even tried the elevators and... And what? All your trying doesn't seem to have resulted in anything to show. Well, rogue Pokemon busted them up, boss. They smashed everything. Guess we gotta do something about this ourselves, then. Rust Syndicate, time to show your mettle. You got it, boss. Once you choose your path, there's no turning back. The only way is forward. You know how Mega Evolution's an expression of the bonds between Pokemon and people? It is an expression of the bonds between the members of the Rust Syndicate. A human ladder. Boss, Mr. Corbo. We've already fallen off the straight and narrow, and at this rate, we're gonna fall short here too. Looks like we're on wrong. I mean, one person short. What do we do now? Only one thing to do. My grunts are giving their all, and as their leader, I need to give just as much. And then some. Don't you worry about me. My word's my bond, and I'm not breaking either tonight. This is our highest calling. Literally. No need to hesitate. Climb on up. I mean it. Don't dilly-dally. Better climb up quick, because I don't know how much longer we'll last. Go get him, DB. I was thinking I'd jump to the other tendril. Well, hello. Oh my. Do we have some late customers? I'm afraid that Nouveau Cafe is closed for the day. But you seem to be in need of some help from us anyway, don't you? Well, we offer more than fresh, fragrant blends. Got high-quality trainers, too. Talking will have to wait. We have Pokémon to take care of. Whoa. I was like, why wouldn't it let me in my satchel? Ow. You are annoying. Stop this. Stop being a nuisance. Now, then, with that disturbance taken care of, I'd say it's time for a little coffee break. One Ember Roast, our signature drink at Nouveau Cafe. Take it already. Bloop. Yeah, I bet your Pokemon are feeling as perked up as anything now, too, right? You know, many people have likened the bitter depths of a fine roast to the nature of life itself. At times like these, I quite see what they mean. We failed to keep the tower from running amok. Now we must rely on you to salvage the situation. What are you gonna do? I will never be able to outrun my connection to Team Flare. Nor can I change those who will never forgive Team Flare for what happened 5 years ago. What I can control is what I do next. I will protect the people of this city no matter what they may think of me. And what about you? What is it that you most want to achieve now? Want to help Urbane? That is a noble desire. Now, let us each set out to accomplish what we must. I suspect Zygarde has been watching to see if you would make it this far. And now it shows itself at last, having deemed you worthy to battle alongside it. Looks like we've got more customers incoming. Not sure they'll appreciate our blends, though. Unlikely. At least, not when they've gone rogue like this. Let's get them back to seeing reason. You go do something about that tower. After all, the cafe can't exactly turn a profit if that thing blasts away half the neighborhood. We will handle this area for you. This way. Sorry, this way. As Grisel's like. Hello, Zygarde. It's time for the final battle. Hey, DB. I can see you from up here. Looks like you met up with Zygarde, huh? Remember the day we met? And we got a glimpse of Floette's Light of Ruin? That move's gonna pack even more punch now. Watch yourself. If Ange Floette starts attacking, Zygarde, you and DB have to save Floette and all of Lumiose. I see you have proven yourself worthy of Zygarde's trust, DB. I have gathered 99 of the lost Zygarde cells. Only one cell remains, the 1% needed to complete Zygarde at last. But afterward, will Zygarde, and you, truly be able to pacify this raging monstrosity? Will you be able to save Floette and your friend, who are trapped within this rogue tower? The answer lies with you. I know that I was once among those who chose to take rather than to give. But that is no way to save the world. You must be one who gives. Give to Zygarde that which is dear to you as a trainer. Give it the courage that drives you to stand and fight. Give it the opening it needs to attack. It's time. See you, little guy. Hopping on in. Hit it with a Swift. Okay. That's one down. Hey, come bless it. Nice. Get bonked. Alright. Sigurd time. Let's do land. God, that one looks sick from this vantage point. This scale. Thank you, friend. Yeah. Ow. Oh no, honey! Oh, I got that beam did a lot more than I was expecting. Ouch. Thank you. Flee! Quickly! Uh-oh. Thank you, Zygarde. Gonna go Mega Excadrill. And we're going to plow through this thing. Nice. Bye. So we did Land's Wrath. 2,000 waves. Oh yeah. Ow. 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 Run him. Blast it. Too far away. Ow. Oh. Okay, that one should be dead. Nope, not yet. No. Throw run! Earthquake! Iron Head. Nice. Oh! Goodbye, Red Flower. Just time. Core Enforcer. Put an end to the rampage. The tower, or Ange, or whatever it's called, it stopped. seems you and Zygarde managed to save the day, DB. Yo, don't forget about us! What about all the rogue Pokemon? They have all been pacified. When the top-ranked trainers of the ZA Royale join forces, we can accomplish anything. Hello, that goes without saying. All thanks to the superstar of Lumiose, Jusant, and the rest of you, I suppose. Sure, fine, whatever you say at this point. Thank you, all. Seriously, especially you, DB. Urbane, are you alright? I'm fine, I'm totally fine. Now all that's left for Mega Floette... Sorry, now all that's left is for Mega Floette to take control of Ange and put all of this to bed. And once we get all this cleaned up, I trust Quasartico's gonna throw us a nice celebration. I'll see that it happens. After all, it's thanks to the efforts of Team MZ that we managed to stop the tower. I imagine AZ must be smiling. Splendid. I believe Regisim would be the ideal venue for such a gathering when the time comes. Pass. I'm down for whatever, so long as everyone has a good time. Zap you later. Bye, everyone. Just one last step, Floette. Do your thing. What was that sound? Good question. Wait, it can still move? What's Ange trying to do? Oh, Skidio. This is bad. It can't be. No, no way. If Ange fires Floette's Light of Ruin while it's still powered up like this, there won't be any Lumiose left to rebuild. Something inside my satchel shaking. My pebble! It's emanating power! It is Zygardeite now. Hey, Zygarde. Let's do it, buddy. This sequence is just, like, very cool. Let's do it, bud. Core Enforcer no more. We have Nile Light. XYZ, baby! It's beautiful. As ever, it is our choices today that shape our tomorrow. I will forever be grateful to you, Team MZ, my dear friends. And there it is. And it's cool because this sequence kind of plays out during the credits that this is showing like kind of what happened. Like Quasartico issues an announcement and like an apology for everything that's happened. Vinny is helping clean up, kind of helping guide those efforts. Everyone's banding together to do it. Can see that Racine Construction is building a lot of scaffolding, of course. You can see that Manny's down there helping out. As is Team MZ. Cleaning up, helping get things situated. Ivor's just punching through stuff. It looks like Gwen is probably using her Chandelure to move things, yeah. I don't know, Emma's investigating the rubble, I guess. I don't know. They're laddering more? Oh, okay, they're climbing up to help clear rubble from rooftops. I don't know whether they're fighting rogue megas. I don't know. I guess there were some more still that were just the ones in the zone. Team Flare Nouveau is providing coffee to displaced peoples and people who are working and whatnot, I'm sure. I don't know, it's nice. Like, they give you this whole sequence to give you an understanding of what's happened since then. And I found that fun, you know, Mabel investigating the old lab. L put his hood up and walk down the dark city streets. I will say this does, and then all the rubble's clear. I will say this sets up something really cool as a possibility for Lysander to be a recurring character in other games, because we've seen that AZ lived for 3,000 years, traveled the whole world. L has not he's barely scratched his lifeline, or his lifetime now. You know, it's only been like a few years, like 5 years since his death, and you know, permanent lifeliness. So he's got a ton of life to live, and he wants to help make the world a more beautiful place. I would not be surprised if we don't see L pop up in like maybe even the next generation. I wouldn't be shocked if he just walks up in Gen 10 at some point and he's like, hey, this is my penance for what I've done. I'm here to help make things good. I don't know. I would not be shocked to see him pop up here and there in other games that take place after this one in the chronology of the games. We might not see him, but I think it would be cool if we do. Kind of similar to how like Kores showed up in multiple games. But yeah, I think one of the cool things about the Legends games is, well, they often are lacking in some area that feels very Pokemon. They experiment in other areas. So they kind of focus their development time on those more experimental things rather than focusing it on the core of the normal Pokemon experience. Legends Arceus kind of did away with the focus on battles. There were battles, but the battles were very simplified and more bare bones. It was a slightly different structure of battle too, but and generally like did not focus on them nearly as much. Now I get the white menu screen. Yeah, like they don't focus on them nearly as much. So the battles in Legends Arceus just aren't as good, but the ways Pokemon are interacting with environments, the ways you catch them, the storytelling are where all of those like experiments and enhancements are. And then in this game, they did a different battle system and kind of simplified the region and the environment that you're in. Focused on, making this battle system really unique. But in some ways it simplifies it a bit too. But I don't know, I think it's just so cool how they adapted all this. And it's one of those things is that there's never a Legends game that when I beat it, I go, I wish every game was like this. I wish every Pokemon game did this. Genuinely. I've not thought that a single time. When I played Legends Arceus, I thought this was really cool. I genuinely hope this is not what Gen 9 is like. And it was not. I played this, and I go, man, I genuinely hope this is not what Gen 10 is like, but it's cool. And it's neat, because they're not spin-offs. They're within the main series of games. They're just handling fundamental aspects of those games wildly differently. And this is something that I've said time and time again. The first Legends game was not Legends Arceus. It was Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Let's Go is not seemingly going to be a series, or they're not going to do a Johto Let's Go game. But Legends is what Let's Go started. Let's Go was an attempt to Pokemon Go-ify normal Pokemon and experiment a little bit on like what Pokemon was. So they took a foundation that they were familiar with, Kanto, and then they made a game that was wildly different in a lot of ways, except battles were mostly the same. So it was like there was a push and a pull to that shift. It wasn't just we wholeheartedly just jumped into this crazy experimental thing, but they put a little bit of experimental stuff in how you catch Pokemon, the lack of wild battles, and then put a little emphasis from there into how you catch Pokemon, and then just kind of kept the normal battles with trainers basically the same, but with wildly reduced move pools and no abilities and no held items. And the Let's Go games, I think, were they were very interesting. I think the overall experience of shiny hunting in that game is the best it's ever been. But then I always have said Legends Arceus is taking that idea and they're making it more Pokemon-y. You don't have to battle wild Pokemon. You can just catch them. the idea of throwing the ball in a specific way to have a higher catch chance. The lack of emphasis on battles and simplification of move pools. I think Legends Arceus would never have happened had Pokemon Let's Go never happened. I think that you cannot have one without the other. I think one is the direct starting point for that concept. And then, that's evolved again here where you have this other, still different system. I actually think that the capture system in this game is worse than Legends Arceus in a lot of ways. I think that I preferred that you had to aim, like in this game, if they're in the reticle, you will hit them with the ball. Rather than if you throw the ball, you have to lob it. Like, I don't know. I preferred having that, like, having to think about how I was throwing the ball, but at the same time, you're in these, like, enclosed spaces with more Pokemon, so I kind of get it. But, no. Anyways, I'm going to read the end of this game stuff before I continue rambling about some of the things that I find really cool about the Legend series. Even his grave is imposing. I guess that's fitting for AZ in a way. Seems like he handled all the preparations for it by himself. He had me take his measurements, but he told me it was so that I could make him some new clothes. Not so that he could have his grave dug. Keep watching over Lumiose, AZ. We'll make sure it becomes like you wanted. A city of harmony between us and Pokemon. For 3,000 long years, he bid farewell to so many. And now, we bid farewell to him. Let's go home. We need a good meal. Yes, that. I'm starving. It'll be curry again, I suppose. Got so much left to take care of. So many things to clean up and set right. Bye, easy. And there it is. So there is like a little bit of stuff that happens like now, but that's just to lead into the like post game stuff. So that's, I'm not gonna go into any of that. My game is done, so let's put this out. We'll let her get one happy happy photo like this. Oops. Oops. What's the zoom in? There we go. So there it is. It's the end of Pokemon Legends ZA. And yeah, as I was saying, it's really cool that they have this like experimental series within the main series. there's been a little bit of rumblings about what the next Pokemon Legends game is going to be, specifically because some of those details leaked in the Terra leaks. But obviously, it's so early days that there's not really anything to talk about there. Like, there's a little bit of stuff, but like the stuff that is leaked there is like equivalent to a lot of the stuff that was leaked about Legends ZA. From the early days. Like, it is like so early. They have temporary models in place. They have temporary systems. It's got a long ways to go. So I'm not even going to talk about that really. But there is another Legends game in the works, supposedly. It may come out, it may not. It's hard to say when a game is that early in development still. Maybe they end up getting rid of this project, and focus into something different. Who knows? But I wouldn't be shocked if it does come out eventually. And honestly, seeing Gen 10, I'm excited to see how the next Legends game can look. Because Gen 10 looks great. And for the most part, and this is something that I've always said, for the most part, Pokemon games have always started off below average for a game on a console. Some people are just starting to realize that. Like, I've said that this has always been the case. Gen 3 does not look as good as Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. In the slightest. Which is, crazy. Like, it looks nowhere near as good. I would argue Gen 3 looks worse than most things on the Game Boy Advance as far as like first party offerings go. And then you look at Gen 4 and it's behind the times. It has a lot of 2D assets, and a generation, the whole pitch was like, wow, it's a two-screened console that does 3D. Like, you could play Mario Kart DS and that was in 3D. You could play Super Mario 64 DS and that was in 3D. There were 2D elements, but it was all 3D, whereas Gen 4, it was like, yeah, the environment is 3D. Like, the ground around you is 3D, the houses are 3D, but like everyone else is a 2D element. When you're in combat, it's a 2D element fighting a 2D element. In fact, in combat, there's no depth at all. Like, it's literally like, oh, a thing is going diagonally this way. It's not like moving through space or anything like that. Which is what they do in Gen 5, where it actually is being handled in 3D in combat using 2D elements for the sprites. But like Gen 4, I feel, has aged better than most DS games. But when the DS came out, it didn't look good. It didn't look impressive. It didn't look bad, but it didn't look impressive. The games that impressed me on the DS were like Animal Crossing, Mario Kart, Super Mario 64, New Super Mario Brothers had a lot of 3D elements. Those were the games that impressed me a lot. Metroid Prime Hunters is a great example. Impressed me a ton when I first saw it. The things that you could do on the like original DS with its 3D was really good for the time, and it was exciting. I was looking at it, I was like, wow, this is like an N64 game in the palm of my hands. I have a device that can play N64 games. And that was like crazy to me. And that's such an under acknowledged fact of the DS. It was like an N64 in the palm of your hands that had two screens, which is crazy at the time, to me at least. And so I was always impressed by the games that really pushed the handheld to its fullest and like looked like an N64 game, and it was so cool to see. But then when Pokemon X and Y came out, there was one thing I will say: X and Y was very impressive on the models that they had for the Pokemon. The Pokemon models were so high quality, like they were ready to be used on any system, like an HD system or a 3DS. Those models are so good. Those models actually they are higher polygon count models than the ones that they have starting in Legends Arceus. that new model set is more optimized, which isn't a bad thing, but that just goes to show how much forethought went into future-proofing those models, that they made them at the limits of what a 3DS could handle, to the point where the games constantly had frame drops in, especially if you were playing in 3D, but like in double battles and in triple battles, you'd get crazy frame drops. Moltres was known to tank frames. So there used to be like little sort of like this anti-speed run, I guess, which is like how to take the longest possible turn in Pokemon. And it involved like you have a mega Pokemon that is really geometrically complex, and then it uses like U-turn or something, and like it switches out, and then you send in another Moltres. You have a bunch of Moltres. You have multiple shiny Moltres, so that when they come in, they go to the bling, and yeah, the sparkles and like all that stuff. Those games tank in frame rate constantly. They have a 30 FPS goal in battles, and it rarely hit it in doubles and triples, and especially if there's like weather or anything complex. But the models were very impressive. So that was always a thing, that like Gen 6 in battle in a still shot looked really impressive. But the overworld, so much less impressive visually than like Kid Icarus Uprising or Ocarina of Time 3D or, you know, Mario Kart 7, Super Mario 3D Land. A lot of it was a little less impressive than you might have necessarily anticipated, seeing the other offerings that were on the 3DS at the time. But it was cool because it was like better than it had ever looked, you know? But then when Gen 7 happened, it was this huge leap. It looked like every other 3DS game. It was suddenly on par with the other 3DS games, but it still would tank frames in battles, and they had to get rid of triple battles and rotation battles so that it would tank less frames. They turned off 3D in most environments, which it was already off in many environments in X and Y. In Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, it was only able to be turned on in battle or in specific caves. It was very limited. And on Gen 7 it was just gone. I think there was one place you could use 3D in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and I don't know if it was in the original ones, but it was the photo mode that they had, which I think was in the originals. In photo mode in Sun and Moon you could see in 3D, but that mode ran at like 10 FPS without 3D. You put on 3D, you're like playing a PowerPoint. It was awful. It's atrocious. But then Sword and Shield, I felt was, honestly, it didn't look bad compared to other Switch games for the most part. Like, there's some visual areas that weren't fully polished, but I felt like it didn't look bad compared to most games on the Switch for the most part. However, I felt Legends Arceus looked bad in a lot of ways. I felt that Scarlet and Violet looked bad in a lot of ways. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, actually. They looked really good for their first game on the Switch. They looked really good. I will give them full credit to that. But the Switch was kind of this weird zigzag of quality, where it was like it was really good, then it was like it was good, and then, you know, you got the jump to like Legends, and it was like it was a little rough, but like in some ways, but in other ways it was really good. And then you jump again and you're like, this looks pretty bad except for a few places that look really good for no reason. And that was Scarlet and Violet for me. It was like there was like all these areas that I'm like, this is so impressive, but this looks bad. Why does it look bad? But also the texture work on these Pokemon is so good. And then this one, I think, went back to, it's pretty good. Wow, it was surprisingly good. And then Gen 10 looked great. Now, honestly, I think it's good. I think that is one of the good things about them doing the Switch 2 and not something new and crazy, is that by doing the Switch 2, so Game Freak is been doing the Switch. They've done good and bad on the Switch. And they're used to that environment. And now you go, okay, we just kind of continued that environment, but stronger. That's so good for them. That's perfect for them. That's like, oh, we can keep going with it. Like, the 3DS was pretty different from the DS in a lot of ways. Beyond just it was stronger. But this, the Switch 2 versus Switch 1, it's so similar. So it's like, it's really good for them, I think. I think this will help Game Freak make good game. But yeah, I don't know. All of that aside, I think Legend ZA is a game that has its flaws, but I think it's so fun and endearing, and the world is so good. It has some of my favorite characters in the series. I love Ivor. Just like the writing on Ivor and Corbo especially are like really stand out to me. I don't care for Jacinta as a character, but I think she's fun and how she's written. I don't know. I think they did a lot that does genuinely impress me with Legend ZA. And I don't know. It makes me excited to see what they do next in Gen 10 and what they do next with Legends after Gen 10 has dropped. I don't know. It's cool and exciting, and I'm happy that this game ran as well as it did on base hardware and on Switch 2. But yeah, that's going to be all for today's stream and for this series. So thank you so much if you joined me live or after the fact. Either way is cool with me as long as you had some fun. That said, I'm going to go do human things as humans do, and you probably should too. I will be starting the process of planning out a new desktop commission for this team. So please be on the lookout for that. It's probably going to be a while once I do, set up the comm in the first place. But this is a team that kind of excites me because I don't know, there's a lot of funny little guys here. Because I'm trying to think of the last two teams that I had, both had a starter in them. This doesn't have any starters anymore. This is mostly built of funny little guys. In the one that I had for my Pokemon X randomized, we had a legendary on the team. We had all these crazy things. So I think in some ways this one's going to be easier. Comm-wise. More interesting comm-wise, because it's these... I don't know, I feel like it's a relatively motley crew of weird little guys. So I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to be reaching out about that in the near future and trying to set that up once I have plans for how it's going to be. But yeah, I hope everyone's enjoyed ZA. I will be back. I don't know when I'm going to start my next main series. My next main series may very well be XD Gale of Darkness. Not 100% sure, but obviously with Gwen and I moving in the nearest future, I'm kind of hesitant to start a new main series. If things take us longer to get sorted than anticipated, I might start a main series in the meantime and then just put it on hiatus during the active move period. But I'll still be streaming. I'll still be around. It's just going to be more random streams, more doing whatever. So, yeah, that's going to be all for me. So, goodbye. I'm going to go end the stream now. I'm going to hit a button and I'm going to end the stream now. Goodbye.